More than $20 billion has been wiped off the local share market amid rising fears of a global recession. Markets around the world were hit by a triple whammy, with Europe, the US and China all bearing bad news. There are now calls for the Reserve Bank to cut interest rates tomorrow to their lowest level since the GFC. Here's finance correspondent Philip Lasker.
The GFC, it's the crisis that keeps on giving.
What we're seeing is a big increase in uncertainty.
Driven by the economic and political turmoil in Europe, new data suggesting America's recovery may be faltering and a slowdown in China.
That global environment across the three main engines of the global economy is looking a lot weaker than a month ago.
So equity markets around the world are tumbling as investors, worried about a global recession, flee to the perceived safety of gold and some government bonds. Japan's market has slumped to a 28-year low. In Australia, the gains since November have been wiped out as the ASX 200 fell below the key 4,000 mark. Time for a treasurer's pep talk.
We should never lose sight of the fact that we face these challenges from a position of strength.
Whether that strength is threatened or not will determine what the Reserve Bank does on interest rates tomorrow. Some say the RBA should stay put.
We think that there's no harm to be done in the Reserve Bank actually waiting another month.
But others are calling for the central bank to go hard.
I'm worried about what the global economy can do to Australia, and that's why we think the RBA needs to ease the 50 basis points.
I think that does sort of reek of a bit of panic, especially after the 50 we saw in May.
If the Reserve Bank does cut interest rates tomorrow, borrowers have every reason to expect most, if not all of it, to be passed on, because the lenders kept a lot of it last time and they've got most of their overseas funding in place already. Which suggests the RBA might only need to cut 25 basis points, saving more ammunition for what looks like an unstable future. Philip Lasker, ABC News.